of that, hot topics, and more coming up live on The View.
Welcome to The View. Democratic congressmen and women have been under siege over the last couple of days because of the health care bill. Bricks through windows, coffins on lawns. Somebody left a message to send to Congressman Stupak saying they hope he bleeds, gets cancer, and dies. Sarah Palin even tweeted, quote, "Don't retreat, instead reload," and directed people to her Facebook page, which highlights states who voted for the bill, and they have little crosshairs on the folks. Now, John McCain was recently on the Today Show. He said, "I've seen the rhetoric of targeted districts for as long as I've been in politics, please. Any threat of violence is terrible, but to say that there is a targeted district or that we reload or go back into the fight again, please, those are fine and they're used all the time." Yeah. And they are used all the time, but very rarely do you see crosshairs with places where to find people. And I guess what's got people up in arms is, we've been talking about this really all week. Have people lost their sense of being American and being able to have a civil
it's rather unpatriotic. I mean, that thing looks like an Al-Qaeda Christmas card. It's like, why don't you just send a map to Bin Laden and show it to him? She says that she's so patriotic, and then she does something like that. Hypocritical.
Strangely, I agree with you.
Thank you. Good for you.
Is hurting a little bit, but I'm getting there. This was really disappointing to me.
It just shows you.
This is the School of Joy online now at www.ilovemyself. Kidding. I just want to agree with you, really.
Yeah.
This hasn't been a great week in terms of, I think, like the Constitution and where it says that you're supposed to, everyone, it's a mandate to have insurance. But I think the way that some Republicans are handling this is nothing more than purely despicable. The names that are next to and being highlighted by those crosshairs, I think it's an abuse of the Second Amendment and advertising. I also feel as though every single person on here is a mother, a father, a friend, a brother, a sister. And to take it to this level,
despicable.
It's disappointing to see this come from the party. And I would hope that leaders like that.
It's not only disappointing. I mean, I'm going, let's call it what it is. You got all this stuff that's coming out that back in the 60s, they would spit at people. They would do this kind of thing. They would throw bricks. It's such a cowardly thing. You're throwing bricks through a window. That's what people did when they put white sheets over their head. Sure. So you wouldn't know who they were.
It's dangerous.
It's this kind of stuff. It's this climate. It's this fear-mongering. So when you see stuff like that, and it's like a target next to your name.
It incites crime.
It incites.
I would just say thank you for doing that. And also, John Boner should take a page from your book.
Well, listen to his last name.
Republicans are not speaking out. The Republicans are not speaking out against this, and you may be the first one to do it. And I salute you, my girl.
And I want to put something out there because I want to put something out there to those talking heads who are still busy inciting this. Whatever comes down from this, it's on your hands.
Absolutely.
Okay?
That's right.
Yes,
when you say wipe them out,
when you say
wipe them out,
and when you sort of gently suggest that people do stuff. Let me tell you about people who tell you to do stuff. You notice they're not doing it. The people who tell you to go do stuff, they're at home. They're not going to jail.
Right.
See, if you get caught throwing a brick, shooting somebody, your behind is going to jail. Your family's going to suffer. And by the way, We've seen what happens when people listen to other people.
In Rwanda, it started with radio stuff.
And here, we saw planes go into the buildings because they listened to someone who said, go and do this. This is the same thing. Watch yourselves, talking heads, because this is dangerous.
It is dangerous, and I think that when you take rhetoric like this with someone who's powerful, I would hope that anyone out there wouldn't take it to an extreme and take this literally, but the chance is there. And I think there's a responsibility, a civic responsibility, no matter how upset you are with how things are happening with our Constitution, with health insurance, etc. This is not the way to get anything done.
Can I add something?
Right,
Violence really does beget more violence. And so, because the violent rhetoric is coming from the right, doesn't mean that it will not be counteracted on the left. And so then you'll have, chaos everywhere. So people need to be very careful of this type of talk. Even though I believe in free speech, it's hate speech. It's not free speech.
And we shouldn't forget that healthcare is the state's responsibility, and it works in England and Australia
And a lot of
many other countries.
We have a Constitution that necessarily may not cover that, but this is a shift. I'm unhappy with it. I would never put a target on a person's name or where they live or where they're from.
Sarah Palin.
It's insane.
And what's that side is that?
Well, she once taught me to skin a moose. She did humanely.
Yes. Skinny is the first.
Before we go, we want to say goodbye to somebody I liked a lot and who many of us watched and grew up with, a fabulous actor called Robert Culp, who passed away at 79.
He was
very handsome.
Wonderful and funny and great, and up there in the sky with the other fabulous actors, what's better than that with being with your peers? We're going to go and come back because, my goodness, we got even more hot topics.